Hello friends, today's topic of discussion is the optimum receiver. The objectives of today's lecture are to study the optimum receiver and to discuss probability of an error for an optimum receiver. The optimum receiver, characterized by the transfer function obtained based on the proposed method, assures the minimum mean square error and its performance are the same as those of filters derived on the base of classical methods developed by Werner and Kalman. An optimum filter is generalized filter which is used to receive binary coded signals with minimum probability of error. So we can see the block diagram where the input signal x of t is given. X of t we can consider x1 of t or x2 of t, and another input to the summer circuit is a Gaussian noise, that is n of t, with spectral density SNF. Now we can see the output of the summer circuit is a noisy signal, a signal x of t plus Gaussian noise. So x of t plus n of t, a noisy signal, is the output of the summer circuit. Then it is applied to the block that is filter. We can see the output of the filter. It is given to the sample every t seconds, that is a circuit, and so that we can get the output signal VO of t. VO of t, it is nothing but XO1 of t plus NO of t if your signal is X1 of t. If the input signal is X2 of t, the output, that is signal VO of t, will be XO2 of t plus NO t. In the integrator and dump receiver, we have seen the received signal was passed through an integrator so that at the sampling instant, the signal voltage is received without error even in the presence of noise. But we can ask ourselves whether the integrator is an optimum filter which will ensure a minimum probability of error. For this, we must know what exactly an optimum filter is or optimum receiver is. An optimum filter is, as we have discussed, it is a generalized filter which is used to receive binary coded signals with minimum probability of error. The noise at the input of the optimum receiver is assumed to have a Gaussian distribution with a zero mean. We assume that the received signal is a binary waveform. One binary digit, that is bit, is represented by a signal waveform x1 of t. In our case, we have considered x1 of t, which has a bit duration of t seconds, and the other bit is represented by the waveform x2 of t, which also has a same bit duration t. Let the received signal be represented by the polar NRZ format. So how to find out this? We can represent this input x1 of t is equal to plus a for a bit duration of t seconds, and for binary 0 we can represent it x2 of t, that is nothing but minus a for a bit period of t seconds. For other modulation systems, different waveforms are transmitted. For example, for PSK signaling, x1 of t, that is nothing but a cos omega ct, and x2 of t, that is nothing but minus a cos omega ct. The input, which is x1 of t or x2 of t, it is corrupted by the additive noise that we have considered n of t. This noise is Gaussian and it has a spectral density SNF. In the block diagram only we have seen. Note that we are not assuming the noise to be the white noise. The signal and noise are filtered and then they are sampled at the end of each bit interval. The output sample is denoted by VO of t. Here we can see that is nothing but XO1 of t plus NO of t. If our bit is 0, for example, in that case our output will be XO of t plus NO of t. So this is the optimum receiver output. As per the input bit, the output will get changed over here. So we have seen in the optimum filter what is done basically. The signal, noisy signal, it is applied to the filter and then it is applied for the sampling for the every t seconds over here, and so that we are getting this as a output over here. Now next to this we are going to find out the probability of an error for an optimum receiver. Now in absence of noise, the receiver output would be like VO of t, it is equal to XO1 of t. That means this will be our received signal, or the XO of t, that will be our received signal, and the error probability will be 0. So this is in case of if noise is absent. But we know that practically if you consider any communication system, any receiver, in that obviously noise will get affected and we need to remove that noise. So in the case, that is real case, when the noise is present, to minimize the probability of error, the receiver should decide x1 of t has been transmitted if VO of t is closer to XO1 of t over here than XO2 of t. Similarly, it should decide that x2 of t has been transmitted if VO of t is closer to this one, that is XO2 of t, than to the XO1 of t. Now, this decision boundary is therefore a midway between XO1 of t and XO2 of t. We can see here. So this is the sampling instant at which the decision will be made. This is noise pulse NO of t introducing the error, obviously. Now suppose that XO1 of t is greater than XO2 of t. As we can see in the figure, that is XO1 of t is greater than XO2 of t. Now assume that x2 of t was transmitted signal. x2 of t means what? The 0. If it is really transmitted signal, if at the time sampling noise NO of t is positive and it is larger than the voltage difference, that is XO1 of t plus XO2 of t divided by 2 minus XO2 of t, then the error is introduced and an incorrect decision will be made by the receiver. So mathematically we can see this. We are having the decision boundary over here, that is XO1 of t plus XO2 of t over here. Now see, this is the error introduced, that is NO of t, it is greater than the average of these two, that is XO1 of t plus XO2 of t divided by 2 minus XO2 of t. Now we can rewrite this, that is NO of t, it is greater than or equal to XO1 of t. This is minus XO2 of t. So we can find out easily the change in the two equations, that is here we are having plus sign, here we are having minus, because this subtraction will be done. And so the noise can be represented as XO1 of t minus XO2 of t divided by 2. Now similarly, if x1 of t was transmitted, we have seen the case previously, that is x2 of t is transmitted. Now at this time, sampling the noise NO of t is negative and larger than the voltage difference, that is x1 of t minus this average. Then the error will be introduced, and that error we can represent like NO of t, it is less than or equal to XO2 of t minus XO1 of t divided by 2, like this. So in both the cases we observed how the error introduction will be done and how mathematically we can represent this. Now the noise is assumed to have a Gaussian distribution, and we have already derived the expression for the PDF of NO of t, that is probability distribution function, in the last lecture. So how we can represent this? That is fx NO of t, it is nothing but 1 divided by sigma under root of 2 pi e raised to the term, that is minus NO of t square divided by 2 sigma square. We can see that is how it is plotted, the PDF of output noise NO of t also over here. Here it is shown, that is the error probability. At this side also, probability of error when NO of t will be greater than or equal to x1 of t minus xO2 of t divided by 2. Similarly, at this time, at this side, that is xO of t minus xO1 of t divided by 2. So, like this we can find out, these are the points where we can find out the xO of t minus xO1 of t divided by 2. Similarly, xO1 of t minus xO2 of t divided by 2. So, this is the PDF of output noise. Now, the probability of error is equal to the probability that the noise NO of t will have a magnitude larger than xO1 of t minus xO2 of t divided by 2, or it is less than the other output, that is xO2 of t minus xO1 of t divided by 2. So, PE, that is error probability or probability of error, it is represented by, that is either of these two. So, here it is shown in the PDF, that is the two error probabilities, PE. Now, therefore the probability of error is PE. That is nothing but integration, one of the output, that is xO1 of t minus xO2 of t divided by 2 up to infinity fx NOT d of NOT. Now we can replace the Gaussian distribution, that is fx of NO of t, the PDF of NO of t, we can replace that here. Fx NO of t, that is nothing but the term we can introduce, that is e raised to minus NO t square divided by 2 sigma square d N of t. Now we can find out, or we can consider, let the term which is the e raised to term, this term for simplicity we can consider it as a z square. So NO of t divided by under root of 2 sigma is equal to z. If you find out now, dN of t, it is equal to under root of 2 sigma dz. For NO of t tends to infinity and z of t tends to infinity, and for NO of t it is equal to x1 of t minus xO2 of t divided by 2, and z is equal to xO1 of t minus x2 of t divided by 2 under root of 2 sigma. Now, substituting all these values into the previous equation, we can easily find out this one, that is the error probability. The limits are changed now, xO1 of t minus xO2 of t divided by 2 under root of 2 sigma up to infinity, and 1 by sigma, 1 divided by sigma under root of 2 pi into e raised to this term minus z square into under root of 2 sigma dz, that we have replaced instead of d of derivative of this NO of t. Now, the error probability, we can modify this and we can rewrite 1 by under root of 2 pi and the limits for the integration as it is, and e raised to minus z square dz. Now, we can rearrange this expression and we can get it, like we can take separately this 1 by 2 and into the bracket we can find out 2 divided by under root of pi, the limits for the integration, and similarly e raised to minus z square dz. The expression inside the square bracket is the complementary error function. This is complementary error function. So, we can rewrite this error probability is equal to half of ERFC of xO1 of t minus xO2 of t divided by 2 under root of 2 sigma. This is basically the expression for the error probability of an optimum filter. So, this is the error probability of optimum filter over here. Now, we can conclude some points from this equation. The complementary error function ERFC is monotonic decreasing function. Therefore, the error probability will reduce with increasing the difference between your x1 of t and x02 of t. Now, the error probability will reduce with decreasing the RMS noise voltage sigma. The mean square value of noise is equal to standard deviation sigma square, since the mean value of Gaussian noise is 0. And the last conclusion, thus the optimum filter must maximize the ratio, that is x01 of t minus x02 of t divided by sigma, in order to minimize the error probability. Now we can see one small example based on this. If S1 of t and S2 of t are two signals being transmitted in, for example, PSK system, we can consider S1 of t is equal to 10 cos of omega ct or m omega ot. Similarly, S2 of t, that is nothing but minus a or minus 10 cos of omega ot. Now we can calculate the SNR for the optimum filter provided the noise is white. So we can here consider that when the noise is white, the optimum filter becomes match filter. When a match filter is used for the detection of BPSK signal, the signal to noise ratio can be given as this 8E divided by N. In this equation, E is nothing but PSTB and the signal to noise ratio is 8 PSTB divided by N. Now let us calculate the PS and TB. Now to calculate PS, the given data we are having S1 of t is equal to minus S2 of t, that is nothing but 10 cos omega ot. Now, so A is, it's simple, it's clear that A is equal to 10. So PS is equal to A square by 2, that means 50 we are having. So ultimately we are having the value of PS. Now it's remaining for TB and then we can calculate the SNR simply. Here we can find out SNR is equal to 8 into 50 into TB by NO. So that is nothing but 400 TB divided by NO. So we have studied the optimum filter. We have discussed the error probability of optimum filter also. Thank you.